What's up everyone, it's Lethal, and in today's video I'm going to talk about all of the things, the basic things that you should have if you're a PC gamer. If all you do is game, these 4 apps, maybe 5, maybe I'll throw in a bonus one, are pretty much everything that you need to get started, to make sure that your game is running smoothly, to make sure that you're not lagging, crashing, or freezing, black screening, or any of that. These are the basic things that you need. So number 1 on the list is going to be your task manager. This bad boy right here. I'm going to make it a little bit wider. What your task manager does is it shows all of the apps running on your computer, all of the background processes, whether big or small. As you can see, I have a lot of things running. You can click on the performance tab and you can see what your CPU is doing, what your memory is doing, what your hard drive is doing, what your internet's doing, and what your graphics card is doing. If you don't know what any of these things are, I'm sure you're soon going to learn, and I will have future videos breaking down the ins and outs of having a PC. So in order to access your task manager, first I'm going to answer the question, what is a task manager for? Well, a task manager is so that you can close programs that don't close like they're supposed to. You can force close them. You know, if I want something to close and not run anymore, like Creative Cloud, all this is for my editing software, I can right click and hit end task. Now you want to be very careful when you right click and you end task, because you don't want to right click and end task on anything that is a very important process to your computer. You don't want to right click and close the wrong thing. For example, all this Node.js stuff, all of the AMD user experience, services, host, Windows manager, you don't want to close any of this stuff. You want to stick to the programs that you know the names of. So if you're running Fortnite and you have, for instance, the Epic Games Launcher, if for some reason the Epic Games Launcher won't close, you can literally go in your task manager and right click on Epic Games Launcher and hit end task. Easy as that. The next thing that I'm going to show you is how to open the task manager, and there's 2 ways. You can hold down Control Shift and hit escape and it brings it up, or you can hold down Control Alt Delete if you have a full-size keyboard. Those are the 2 ways to open the task manager. Easy peasy. Another useful feature of the task manager is you can see what apps are using all of your CPU and your memory and your GPU and power. You can see how much power they're using. You know, you can see how much internet, how much data they're using. And like I said, you can right click and hit end task. Now we're going to close that. Next thing is a little bit of an advanced feature. And no, I'm not talking about filter keys or intelligent standby list cleaner. I'm actually just talking about your temp folder. So we're going to drag this over everything. In order to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, let me put it like this. Your computer builds up a bunch of temporary files while it's opening and closing programs. What you need to do on a regular as a PC user, probably you could do this every day, but it's recommended that you do this at least once every month or once every few months. Clear your temp folders. And you have 2 different temp folders. This temp folder that we're looking at, I'm going to close it so I can reopen it. You're going to hit the Windows key, hit Shift or hold down Shift and press 5 on your keyboard, which is going to give you the % sign. %TEMP%. You're going to hit enter or click on this. It's going to open it. All right. So this is one temp folder. What you need to do as soon as you're in this folder is hold down Control on the keyboard and hit A. Click on the delete, or you can hit delete or backspace on your keyboard. Select do this for all current items. Hit skip because it's going to skip the stuff that it can't delete. Okay. Now, before we close this, because I'm going to compare them side to side, I'm going to hit the Windows key and type in run, R-U-N. Click on the run app. Type in TEMP, hit enter or click OK. It's going to bring up this. Now, these folders look semi-identical, but if you pay close attention, let me bring both of these to center. If you pay very close attention, this says local disk Windows temp. This says local disk users Lethal Heir, which is my name, username, app data, local temp. So whatever your username is, it's going to be here right after users, but these are 2 completely separate temp folders. And what we're going to do with this one, you're going to hit Control A. You're going to hit the delete icon. You're going to check, do this for all current items, hit skip. All right, you can close both of these. Right click on your recycle bin and empty the recycle bin. That is the last step. And once again, do this for all current items. It's checked because I always check it, but it's asking admin permission to delete this file. It's junk, don't need it, hit continue. It's gonna delete it, boom, it's gone. All right, narrowing things down. Next up, we're gonna talk about intelligent standby list cleaner. Now, if you don't know what RAM is, think of it like when you remember something and you have it floating around in your head. RAM stands for random access memory. What you use RAM for is to keep things that are kind of like temporary loaded in your computer memory so it can perform tasks. Like, without going into too much detail, if you don't have enough RAM, you won't be able to run a lot of programs. RAM is what allows your computer to multitask. Your CPU, or your central processing unit, works with the RAM in order to run multiple programs at the same time. That's really the simplest way I can put it. What this intelligent standby list cleaner does is it clears your RAM. It clears your standby list, things that you don't need to be memorized at the moment. Let's say you're just gaming. Well, you want your computer all hands on deck for gaming. You want every part of your computer to be helping your gaming experience. So let me go ahead and click stop so that mine stops running. But you can see that my standby list and system working set is 8,051 megabytes. Free memory is 51,424 megabytes. I actually have 64 gigs of RAM. If you want to know how much RAM you have, you can actually hit Control-Shift-Escape, open up the task manager, click on performance, and then you click on the memory tab, and it will tell you at the top right, 64 gigs is how much I have. You might have 16 or 8 or 12, and it'll tell you how much is available. This is how much is in use. This is how much RAM is available. In-use RAM is what your system is already using. So we're gonna go ahead and close that again. So the intelligent standby list cleaner, there's two things that you need in it. One is to clear your RAM. Now, if you're running a game, and let's say you have 16 gigs of RAM, what you're going to do is leave this box with 1,024 in it. Then you're going to type in half of your system RAM here. So if you have 16 gigs of RAM, what you're going to do is type in 8,000 in this box. Easy peasy. If you have 32 gigs of RAM, you're going to type in 16,000 in this box. Easy math. Elementary. You can do this with an elementary education. So the second part of the intelligent standby list cleaner is the custom time resolution. What you're going to want to do is type 0.50 in this box, check enable custom time resolution, and make sure that if you're on a medium to low end PC, I have a really high end PC, which is the only reason why my polling rate is 500. Just put it at 1,000, not 10,000, but 1,000, just like that. And then you're gonna hit start. Now you have some options. You can have this start when you open it automatically, and you can also have this start when you open Windows. Those are personal preference if you want to, but this is something that you're going to want to run. I'm going to stop it, put it back on 500 and hit start again, because these are the settings I want. I want when free memory is lower than 32,000 to clear the standby list. And I'm going to clear the standby list just so you can see what it does. Purge standby list, boom, goes to 0. All my RAM is free except for what the OS is using. So moving on, I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. It is important to note, if you click the X, it will close the program. Do not click the X, just minimize it. Boom, it goes down to your system tray and it's running down here. All right, last but not least, filter keys. I'm going to give you some pretty safe settings. If you're using mouse and key and you want the fastest performance for your keyboard, what you're going to do is leave this first thing at 0. The repeat delay, you're going to put at 150. The repeat rate, you're going to put 50 here in this box. Okay, you could put anywhere between 20 and 50, but just to be safe, if you're brand new to keyboard and mouse, you don't want your response times being like way too touchy, because whenever you go to type something, it's going to be out of hand. So you're going to check save to registry, and you're going to uncheck these boxes here. The only two that should be checked here are on and available, and then you're going to hit apply. Also, there's another box that says ignore keystrokes repeated faster than. You don't really need that. So hit apply, boom, you can test it out. That feels good to me. And then you're going to go ahead and close this. Now the download links for all of these programs are going to be in the description of this video. This is not a video on how to download these programs. If you want to know how to download these programs, then what you need to do is go on Google, go on YouTube, look up how to download and install these programs. But I will have the download links for these in the description. So if you can figure that out, then please do, because there's not enough time in this video. So that's going to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed, and then I hope that any of this information was helpful to you. One bonus tip that I'm going to give you right here at the end is if you hit your Windows key and type in game mode or game, it'll pop up game mode settings. You want to make sure that you turn on game mode, and that's pretty much it. Hope you have a good one, and we'll see you next time. Peace.